Hi there guys, Bowman Hamster here, and this is not recording? It is recording. There we go. Hi guys, this is Bowman Hamster, and this is the game that has recently just got me into Platinum. Our team composition is pretty good here. In fact, we'll just get it started. So here I am. There we go. So our composition's pretty good. We've got a Decker as a support. I like Decker as a support. I think she's still one of the best supports. She fails in global presence, which is something Muriel's got. So what Muriel can be doing is she can be split pushing a lane. But you will notice in this game, or at least as far as I'm aware, Muriel doesn't do this. If you see what I'm doing right now, guys, I am blocking this range creep, and you see that he's starting to get a distance from the other guys. Yeah, look at that. Okay, and basically what this does is it helps set the lane towards me. Okay, as you can see, the blue minion was the first one to go down, and really this is going to help set the lane in my favor. As you can see, okay, which is really good, because you want to do this if you can body block the range creep, and you can get the lane in your favor. This is perfect because it opens up the ability for your teammates to gank, which is something that you're going to see a little bit later on. But anyway, the enemy Muriel, I don't know what she was doing for most of the game. I didn't see her that much. Usually what I do is I split push with a Muriel. I will push one lane, knowing that my global is ready and that I can get into a team fight if I need to. But she didn't seem to be doing any of this. So this is going to be first blood here. Okay, the Iggy has way overextended. Okay, our Grux gets the pull off, which is perfect. The Iggy misplaces his turret, which allows my turret to take it out, and there's your first blood. There we go. At this point he started pushing the wave. I hate it when junglers do this. So what I did was I told him to retreat. So what I do is with my Iggy is, once I have cleared a wave or the enemy is dead, what I will do is I will move into the jungle and I will take the blue buff. You will see in this video that I very rarely go back to base. Just generally because of the sustain that I have on my Iggy. I have an Armivore, which means every time I kill a unit I gain 7 mana, and I have Drink the Spirits, which means that I can basically heal myself every time I kill something. So you can see with the Iggy I start off with a health potion, a mana potion, and some zap juice. Just generally because I want as much mana as possible. I'm on 12 last hits compared to the other Iggy who's on 11. So we're doing exactly fine, and the same amount of CS he is pretty much, and he's got a cast token. So the cast token is actually kind of a bit of a waste. It doesn't really, other than your auto attacks, it doesn't increase your damage of your turrets that much, and it doesn't really do. I don't see the point of it. I would rather have the extra mana than I would the extra point of damage, because now he's running out of mana. You see, I'm a level above him now thanks to the block on the range minion that I had. which would mean that if our jungler came in again, I would be able to use my ultimate before he did, before he would be able to, and we could have got a second gank. So what I try to do with Iggy, although I couldn't do it with this guy, he had really good placement of his turrets, is generally when people place their turrets, they place them quite close to the minions. Now when you do that, you can counter his turret by placing yours in a position where it will not only hit the minions, but it will hit the turret as well. And that'll kill the turret very, very quickly. So what happened there was I saw Iggy teleport back. So instantly I pushed the wave to his tower as fast as I could, and then teleported back. Okay. Basically, whoever teleports back first in an Iggy versus Iggy match generally loses. And you'll see he does lose this lane. So we're currently sitting at 20 CS to 19 CS, okay? So we're not that far away from each other. He's going in to take the blue buff now. Just as I am as well. You see, now I'm 2 levels ahead of him. I'm 2 levels ahead of him. 2 levels ahead of him, and 3 card points. So he's really using he's really using his time inefficiently. So I see there's a bit of a fight going on over here, so I decide to rotate as the lane is pushed out. By the time I get there, everything's kind of settled down.
An enemy tower is under attack.
So I come back into my lane. So I'm trying to keep a safe distance here. I don't want to overextend too far past the midway point. Just because I don't have my mana, my defenses yet. At the moment I've only got a single tune barrier with nothing filled in, which means I'm still quite vulnerable. I went for the Armivore early because I wanted to out-farm the other Iggy. And he didn't have any mana regen, or he didn't have much mana for his build, so I ended up stomping him quite hard when it came to farm. So usually what will happen is, if I feel confident enough that I know where the jungler is, which I didn't, then I would move into the enemy jungle to take those creeps out. If I don't feel safe, then I will take my own jungle. And you see the Iggy's doing the same. He's this is quite a quiet game. It felt really intense because I knew this game was the one to get me in platinum. I was on 14.9.4 before this game started, and most games are 6 plus. So it's just a case of rotating, farming up. So you see I rotated into their jungle now. This is where I get caught out. I get caught out at this point. But you'll oh, is it not this point? Okay, I get caught out doing that a little bit later on. You'll see. And I do end up getting ganked. But it does take 3 of them a good maybe 20 or 30 seconds to kill me. And I take that as a victory because one or two things can happen. Either your teammates will rotate to be able to help you and you get a kill, or you waste their time whilst your team can take a tower. So this guy here, he's diamond. He's a diamond player.
An enemy tower is under attack.
So considering that he was a diamond, I found him very non-impactful in the game itself. So I'm level 10, highest, and up there with the farm as well. So our team's doing pretty good. 195 versus 172. Their ADC is farming better than ours, but we are picking it up elsewhere. So this is literally how I run my iggy. So we've got ourselves a fully upgraded Tune Barrier now. That gives 132 energy armor. That means Iggy is not going to be able to touch me in the mid lane now. And we've got ourselves the beginning of a Tempered Plate. This whole game, it was just so quiet in the middle. It was spooky. It was spooky how quiet it is. I don't know what their jungler was doing. But he did seem to be not around. So I think this is the beginning of an awkward fight. Okay, good. So as he's in trouble, there's suddenly, look at this left hand side, they're rotating already. They see that fight going on in the mid. That is beautiful. Okay. Managed to slow them up, protecting our Grux. Get the enemy's ADC, get a few shots off towards me, but he misses. He wasn't a particularly good shot, that ADC. And whilst the Iggy's away, I decided to push lane out a little bit. And then, as I've done that, back in. So unless I've got a black buff, I generally don't attack the towers because I don't go damage on my Iggy. The scaling is atrocious for his turrets, for all his other abilities as well. So I don't see the point in getting damage on him. It's a lot easier, as you'll see a little bit later on, when I get the black buff and start taking their towers on the left hand side. The only reason I haven't gone for the black buff now and taken the middle is because I'm up against an Iggy, and Iggy has been countering me quite a bit. Okay, so the lane's pushed now. I can start deciding if I want to rotate to help out, or I can just pressure the mid a little bit more. So I'm choosing to really put a lot of pressure on this tower. The main reason being is that I understand that Muriel, if she wants to help, she has to use her ultimate, and she'll be out of there. She's not a particularly good wave clearer either, so it allows me to get quite a bit of chip damage on the mid tower, which is fantastic. Their rampage comes in, doesn't really do anything. It felt like I was playing against bots with how passive they were. So Muriel's gone to try and help her friends, which leaves me open to put some more pressure on this mid lane. And somehow this rampage allows me to bully him a little bit. It could be the fact that I'm 4 levels above him. That might be a little bit intimidating for him. I don't know how a jungler is only a level 8. Let's look at this build. Okay. So there's hardly any attack speed. He would have been better off getting a one of these Beastmaster key. What is this build? Okay. So I think this is only the 2nd or 3rd time that I've been back. Just generally because the sustain I get from the Armivore and Drink the Spirits just allows me to stay out pretty much forever.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice. So that was a mistake by me. I pushed him away. I was hoping to get around the side to be able to push him sideways, maybe. But for whatever reason, their rampage was just—he was like a mouse. I never saw him. Never saw him this game. So because he's on low amount of health, low amount of mana, I thought I'd bully him a little bit. So I think the Countess was put off by how little damage she did to me, as I now have my my tomb barrier completely in place now. So both with the tomb barrier and the tempered steel, early game, which is very easy to farm on. Oh my god, look at that Iggy, dead. Very easy to farm. On an Iggy, just makes you pretty much invulnerable. So there we go, mid tower gone. So following up a little bit, you see the rampage again, scared.
An enemy tower is under attack.
So notice that I'm on low mana. We go back in and we get the blue buff. Meanwhile, over on the right hand side, the Winions are pushing up that lane pretty well. So my build as it is right now, they don't build much armor penetration, so I don't really need to bother upgrading. So what I end up doing is spending a lot of time out in the field. Just trying to find places where it can be useful. There's not really an opportunity to do anything on the left hand side, so I just turned around and thought, well, let's just push through mid. So their Iggy is stealing a lot of jungle from their jungler. Now it's kind of okay to take a little bit if you want to, but to start taking all the stacks all the time, what that does is it gives you a lot of farm, gives you a lot of levels, but the problem is that you end up with a jungler that just won't have the levels or the card power that he needs because you've taken it all. And an over-farmed jungler is much better than an over-farmed Iggy any day of the week. So right now my team is yelling at me because I didn't go and help the Countess who was just hunted down. But I felt that to put pressure on the right hand side here in order to keep at least one of them busy was more important. That way I could rotate back into the mid and I could hold the mid. This game is not about team fighting. It used to be, but it's not anymore. It's all about objectives. So you need to make sure that you're doing two things. Number one, taking their towers. That's one of the most important things. The second most important thing is protecting your towers. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking after the middle and the right hand lane, and this is enabling my team to basically just mess around on the left hand side and disrupt the enemy's ADC from farming properly. So I think this is where I make my mistake. I think I'm just about to go into the enemy jungle. No, not yet. Look how close that rampage was to me. Oh, wow. So I'm currently level 14, 144 CS, 42 card power, and I've only spent 24 of it.
Enemy tower destroyed.
But this is just a really solid build. So I go back and it is time to swap out. I decided that I wanted to protect myself against the enemy ADC. So I put in a level 12 tune barrier. Where's she got that? Why do you have a savage remedy? Okay, anyway. We've got tune barrier here. So I've now got 2 tune barriers. 198 armor on there and 132 here, so that is 330 armor, energy armor, which you'll see later on when I come to one-on-one with the Murdoch when I'm on a lane. What I do is just stand there. He can barely do anything to me, and with Drink the Spirits, as long as I'm killing minions, I get my health back, which is pretty cool. So my goal is to just keep 1 or 2 of them busy. You'll see that they're trying to push one lane whilst I'm taking the mid. I see that, so I start making my way over there. Right, that's how she saw me then. She put a ward up there. Okay, so I start coming up here.
Enemy has been slain.
She starts backing off, and then it's just like, bam, there goes your wave, love. Okay, that was your last 30 seconds of time wasted. Thank you for the CS. And then I just counter push it. Okay. I don't know where their Iggy is. He must be on the left hand side. So currently I'm just thinking, right, no one's here. Let's push the right.
An enemy has been slain.
Now, I believe this is the moment where my team start having a go at me for not being in a team fight. But if you see an opportunity, you got to take it. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a T2 left by itself, alone, unguarded. I'm thinking I got 10 seconds till my ultimate's up. I just ultimate this wave, and then we'll get sorted. We'll take this. Even just for those last 2 creeps. Bam, gone, go. Okay. By the time he rotates, it's already too late. We've got 2 siege minions there, and the 2 siege minions. Bam, just take the tower. So they've had to back off from their attack on the left hand side to come and deal with me. And what a lot of people do when they're low ELL is the whole team does it. It'll only take 1 or 2 people. Okay, Muriel's being cheeky and she's trying to cut me off. Oh no, she's just warding the prime.
Enemy tower destroyed.
So we exchanged a T2 for a T1. I think that's a very good exchange any day of the week. So as I'm looking at the map, I see Grux going on the left hand side, Iggy with no health, so I'm like, okay, well Grux can deal with that. I look in the mid, I see there's a couple of them in mid, so I'm thinking, well, maybe we can get a gank going on here, do some damage, take him out. I can see that nothing's happening. Whoa! I can see that nothing's happening. So I rotate to the right-hand side to, again, push out this right lane. Basically, I want them to know... Okay, what... I want them to know that as soon as they leave a lane free, it is getting pushed. I don't want them to be able to take a breath without the lane getting pushed. Okay, so they can team fight if they want to, but then they're going to lose a tower, and that's what I want them to know. Now, Dekka, being the support that she is, she can do what I believe is like twice the work of a normal support. She's got a slow, she's got a speed for your teammates, she's got a stun, and she's got a trap. Okay, they're 4 very, very useful skills. So I'm quite happy in feeling that if we got a good Dekka, I can leave the Dekka and 3 to fight, so that I can push a lane. And all that's happening is they'll push a lane to the mid, and then I'll just take it back. So I think this is where I mess up, I think. I don't know why I decided to go in on this, but I did. And I think their rampage just pops around the corner or something. Ooh. So Countess very nicely baited out the ultimate there. So I'm backing up. I can see Grok's coming in. I'm like, oh crap! So that is time to get in there. I peel the ADC away from everyone else. Okay, he teleports out the way. Okay, and whilst those are there, I decide to come back and try and peel the Countess away. So I'm trying to keep as much damage away from the fight that's happening down there. All starts going a little bit Pete Tong there. Look, the rampage straight back to AFK farming. Now this Countess messed up royally here. So I see this massive wave pushing on the right hand side. I've got my ultimate up and I'm like, boom! All the CS. Taking me up to 205 last hit. Wow. So I noticed that the mid's getting pushed out, so I decide to leave the right hand side to come into the mid to try and defend. The right hand side's got a nice slow push going on now, so it's going to push all the way up towards their inhibitor. But as soon as I come into mid, everyone just disappears. I don't know what this enemy team were doing. They were just... They seem to be wanting to play Farm Simulator 2016. We don't know why, because it's not very good, is it? Oh, there's a message. Hello, WT North. Wow. So I try to get in front of him here. So you see I'm trying to move around to get my ultimate in front of him. Ah, I missed. But then he turns around and tries it on me, which is pretty cool. Do a lot of damage to him. That forces out Muriel's ultimate, which is fantastic. We now know that we've got at least 40 seconds to be able to fight her. One of the ways that the Iggy could have been countered would be if the enemy rampage had taken a mad spore sash, or if their Muriel had taken a radiant mantle, both of which I carry because Iggy is a very prevalent hero at the moment. Now what both those do is they when you're next to something within melee range, you do damage. You do AoE damage, one tick per second. And what that does is that means that when you are in the middle of a fight and Iggy's putting down his turrets, you are doing AoE damage to the turrets, which basically just kills the turrets. So if you've got a teammate with a Radiant Mantle or a Mad Spore Sash, then the enemy Iggy is going to have a very hard time using his turrets in a team fight. And pretty much without his turrets, Iggy's pretty much useless. So we've got a bit of a posturing going on here in the middle lane. This Iggy thinks he can take me on. Right, so this rampage is way out of position here. Look at this cage from that Decker. That is an amazing cage. The rampage is trying to get desperately to the tower to take it down. It eventually goes down. Whoa! Did you see that jump back? Crikey. Oh, it was a blink charm. I thought he got thrown up in the air. So there was a bit of fight in the middle. We took out the... that was such a beautiful... Such a beautiful cage by Decker there. So we're going over here, ADC using his blink to catch up. Nice. Does he have... He does. Look at that blink shot. So you saw him there, he blinked twice. That was awesome. So it's 3 for 3. Works out about equal. We lost our jungler. Wow! Wow, that Countess has balls of steel. That's epic. Right, so I've got myself a Bane's Flesh. Didn't really become useful in this game, but I put it on anyway because the enemy has a rampage, and I was kind of hoping that it would basically stop him from being able to use his ultimate, taking it down from 200 health regeneration a second down to 50. Is a pretty substantial drop. So when I saw this pick off, the Countess is about to die, I realised this was a perfect time to start pushing this left hand lane. I put a turret down, I'm thinking I need to take this left hand side, so I need the black buff. I rotate in. Take the black buff and then start pushing this left hand side. Now you'll see that the Murdoch has come over here. Now due to the insane amount of armor that I have, energy armor, see, he hits me and does hardly anything. So he's doing 200 per shot, and his accuracy is very much not very good. So what I'm doing here is I'm just keeping the ADC just completely busy. I realise that I'm not going to be able to take the wave with him here, so what I do is I pretend to back off, and you'll see that in a second. Like I realise that he's clearing creeps as quickly as I'm clearing creeps. So I'm like, okay, let's back off. Let's back off. So it's got me down to what, about 70% health. And every time I kill a creep, it heals me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to take this. So I'm gonna pretend I'm back off, and I'll wait for him to do something. So I get there, and then I think just hide a little bit, make it look like I've gone, and now let's go all the way back. Just in case he had a ward there, made it look like I was going back into my own jungle. I suddenly realise as I come back in that he's teleported back, and I'm like, there we go, this tower is gone. And with any luck, due to the fact that they're all over there, apart from Iggy obviously, who's dead, just bam. black buff and prime. There we go. So that's obviously caught the attention of two of them. So now two of them are coming over to this side, right? Which now leaves 4v3 for my guys over there. Iggy decides to disappear, leaving me with Rampage. Rampage also decides to disappear. Okay, now this is really stupid that they've decided to do that. Both of them have decided, right? Rather than one of them going, like the tower's gonna go. Tower's gonna go. So now both of them are fighting in the mid there, and I'm like, okay. Thank you guys. Now Muriel's recognised this, okay, and like a true heroine, she's come over here to try and rescue this inhibitor, but it's already too late. I mean, I got the prime. I'm like, I don't care, love. Like, you do that, I'll take that, no problem. And then we decide to have a little bit of a dance here with the Countess. Okay, they've taken the right hand side because two of their heroes had to come over to the left hand side here. Look at this. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? She got taken out by an Iggy with 0 damage. Look. And then they surrender at the end of that. There we go, guys. So that was the game that got me into platinum. I am going to leave it there for a little while. Maybe create a Smurf account to go pwn some noobs. But basically, that's how I play my Iggy, and that was the Iggy that got me to platinum. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Go take a look at my deck builds. I've got my Iggy one on there as well. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Take care.